Hello and welcome to HBM's Cryptid-Corner for Wednesday, August 9th, 2023. We have a few things to talk about, so let's get started. First of all, there is supposed to be a video of a game camera which photographed a skunk ape in Florida. Now, this is the video, so let's check it out.
It's Rocky Mountain Sasquatch. Interesting game camera footage has been circulating social media. From what I gather, one of the media sites it was shared with was Outcast Paranormal. This is what they said. My buddy that researches the Florida skunk ape was sent this from our neck of the woods. If it's fake, it's a good one. What do you think it is? I see a baby and its fingers on the mom's nose when I mess with the color filter. This is a game camera picture of a plot feed for a hunter. If you think it's a suit, please search the internet to find the suit and post results here in the comments. Personally, I agree. If someone wants to make a claim that it's a suit, then you need to provide a link to the exact suit. Zooming in, look at the size of the creature's ears and how the human-looking face is. Appears the baby has part of its hand and most of its fingers on what I believe is the mother's face. Doesn't look like a chimpanzee to me. However, I do wonder if it's some kind of an ape or monkey living in the wilds of Florida. Also, wonder if a skunk ape looks anything like this. Some people claim Bigfoot, Sasquatch, and skunk apes are gorilla in shape with a face that looks like a human, and then others say that the creature has an ape-like face. I'm sure each individual has its own characteristics, and those characteristics differentiate in different areas of North America. For example, the skunk ape will look vastly different than a Bigfoot in Washington state, and the Magoyan monster will look drastically different than the Sasquatch in northern British Columbia. Interesting photo captured at a feeding plot. Perhaps the primate-looking creature and its baby were just passing through, or maybe they were there for an easy meal provided by the plot feeder. Keep on watching. We're going to keep on squatching.
First of all, to quote the late great Roddy Piper, are they ribbing us with this? Second of all, I smelled the Rocky Mountain Sasquatch organization the minute I saw this. That is most likely one of two things. It's either an actual monkey of some sort or it's a hoax. This is not a skunk ape. And of course, Kelly Shaw is going to jump to conclusions and say, well, it probably is a skunk ape. Because Kelly Shaw and the Rocky Mountain Sasquatch organization are a bunch of hoaxers. Yeah, I'm going to call them out. I'm going to call a spade a spade. And like the great Bill Alfonso, I'm going to call it right down the middle, Daddy. These people are hoaxers. Yes, this is ridiculous. This is absolutely ridiculous. It's so obviously either a monkey or some sort of a hoax. This is not a skunk ape. I got news for you. I would read the article, but I'm going to include the link to this anyway, so you guys can read this for yourself. And you can watch the video for yourself. This sort of thing just ticks me off. It really does. And of course, Kelly Shaw is going to immediately, well, of course, he's a hoaxer. The man's a hoaxer. Remember, this is the same guy who went to a site where there was a guy in a suit and claimed he found Bigfoot evidence. Like, okay, give me a freaking break. Like I say, are they ribbing us with this? I mean, do they really do they look at us and think we're stupid? We're not stupid. We know better than to think that this is an actual skunk ape. The Miyaka skunk ape photo, which may be a genuine skunk ape, not an orangutan, although it does resemble an orangutan in some aspects. That looks more like the traditional skunk ape than what this is. So, try again, Kelisha, you hoaxer. Now here's something interesting. Lake Champlain monster spotted on sonar. Could this be a sonar reading of Champ? Oh, this is from Katie Elizabeth, who has researched Champ for a long time. Sonar equipment aboard a boat on Lake Champlain recently picked up a rather remarkable object which some believe could be the site's legendary monster Champ. The intriguing image was captured this past Sunday by a chartered vessel captained by Scott Thurber. Sharing the fantastic photo on Facebook, he marveled that we had the pleasure of seeing this image appear on our Garmin Echo Map UHD this afternoon while fishing Lake Trout, which he indicated were on the bottom of the screen as this champy image cruises above. As can be seen in the image, the sonar return appears to show a creature with a sizable body, a set of fins, a long neck, and a possible tail. It does look like the shape of. Look at the shape. It looks like a lake monster, doesn't it? Did they get an image of Champ? That's a good question. I don't know. I don't know the answer. But this is actually better than that last story I talked about. This is much better than Kelly Shah and his deluded ramblings. Very interesting. Now here's a young lady who she says she's been covering Bigfoot sightings for half a year. Here are the ones she's convinced are real. One of the occupational hazards of reporting on paranormal news is that people often ask me if I really believe in Bigfoot, and the answer is I really believe it's worth investigating further, which isn't precisely the same thing. I want there to be a species of Sasquatch creatures running around evading detection, and I think there is reason to look for evidence. But at the end of the day, I don't know what will be found either way. That's also the point of looking for something. We don't know what we'll find. What I do know is that I've reviewed a lot of footage claiming to be the giant bipedal cryptid of legend, and some of it I think about when people ask me what I believe. Number one, Jane Goodall's confirmation. Ah, yeah, that would be a good indicator because we know that Dr. Goodall is very open-minded about the possibility, as she revealed in a 2002 interview on NPR.
So many stories. Like I was in the midst of Ecuador with jungle all around and a few little isolated communities. And hunters used to go from community to community. So I asked my translator, I said, when you meet one of these hunters, all I said, have you seen a monkey without a tail? And 5 of them came back and said, oh yeah, there are monkeys without tails. They walk upright and they're 6 foot high. So take it or leave it. But
and do you have any idea, like, or theory as to what those might be?
Well, sort of maybe, remnant Neanderthals or something.
Oh. and no one took any pictures of those tailless monkeys?
Well, there are a couple of pictures which people refute and say they don't really, they're probably fake.
Those famous pictures that we've seen, you believe those might actually be real?
Well, they might.
Yeah, okay.
Very interesting. Sneaky horseback riders. Well, to me, I think the sneakiest horseback riders were Roger Patterson and Bob Gimlin. Because on horseback, they managed to get footage.
Ago, and right away I could see 2 to 3 Bigfoot hiding in the tree line watching these people riding their horses. It was filmed over 9 years ago in Siksika Nation on Axe Flats in Alberta, Canada. The video owner has never tried to make a big deal out of what he captured in the background. Many Siksika Nation folks have contacted me over the years regarding this video filmed on their tribal lands. Recently, I obtained permission from the video owner to break down what I see in this video. 2 of the Bigfoot-shaped creatures showed themselves briefly enough for me to point them out. I'll zoom in on them, slow it down, and stabilize so that we can all have a closer look. There are a lot of Bigfoot sightings by people riding horses, including the most famous Bluff Creek Bigfoot filmed by Bob Patterson. Horses help mask human scent with their own, and the
Not Bob. Idiot.
sound of them walking, breathing, neighing, and snorting help cover up the sound of people in conversation. Obviously, Bigfoot do not perceive horses as a threat. These people were able to ride up on these Bigfoot hanging out in the cover of the tree line before the Sasquatches knew the horses had riders. The first Bigfoot also looks to be the largest in my opinion. It's laying down in the brush and undergrowth at the edge of the tree line. He lifts himself up with his hands or
I don't think they make themselves that obvious.
to get a good look and lays back down. Dark color, conical head, great color for camo. He just melts into the background when he lays down. The next Bigfoot steps from behind a tree and seems to have 2 shades of color that also make him or her melt into the background.
If you gotta put a red circle around it, it ain't real. It ain't credible.
2. This one appears to be partially gray and black. It also has a conical head. It appears to step from behind the tree, take a quick look at the riders, and then it moves deeper into cover of the forest and tree line. Also, at the end of the video, the beautiful paint horse closest to the tree line and the Bigfoot bolts ahead of the group, and the rider has difficulty getting it to stop. Perhaps the horse smells and senses the Bigfoot watching them. I will show you the first Bigfoot zoom stabilized in half speed, forward then reverse. I will do the same with the second one, then show you the original video now that you know where to look. I removed sections of the original video so as not to show faces of some of the riders to keep them anonymous. This part of Alberta, Canada and surrounding areas have a history of many sighting reports, including Bigfoot photos and videos in nearby Calgary, Banff National Park, and all the way up to Jasper National Park. I hope you enjoyed a look at an area that I consider a Bigfoot sighting hotspot. Keep on watching. We're going to keep on squatching.
You mean you're going to keep on hoaxing? And I thought we'd gotten rid of Kennedy Shop.
Horse. Horse, wait. Like your war pony. Huh? Pull him back!
Now here's something interesting. Bald eagle nest camera. I don't think there's any audio to this. I've seen this one before. It's either, I don't know. It's dark. It's dark. It's human shaped. Oh, but look, wait a minute. Look, right. Wait a minute. Does that appear to have no tapered ends to the legs? Do they appear to be flaring out? That's pants legs. It's either a guy in a suit or it's just a hunter wearing dark clothing. But hunters would usually wear an orange vest to make sure they don't get shot and mistaken for another animal. Free hiker. I hope this isn't another Rocky Mountain Sasquatch organization.
They said they're hiking in an area where Bigfoot has been spotted several times. But watch right here. I'll circle it. What is
Another
that?
red circle.
At first I thought maybe it was a bear or something, but zooming in on it, it looks humanoid or like an ape or something. What do you think?
Could be either a bear or a guy in a suit. May not necessarily be a Sasquatch. Oh, wait a minute. This one, that is most likely a person carrying his dog. I don't think, yeah, this one, the Rocky Mountain Sasquatch organization said this was also a Sasquatch. It looks more like a guy carrying his dog across a very shallow river. I'll let you guys read the articles yourselves, because I'm going to include a link to this anyway. Man, Kelly Shaw ticks me off. I don't usually go off on people like this, but he makes research look horrible. He makes it look bad. He's not credible. He continuously calls something Bigfoot when it's not. He's got a bad track record of doing that. But an interesting article nonetheless. Finally, it's been nearly 2 weeks since Peter Byrne passed away, and I did make a video as a tribute to Peter Byrne. This is Lauren Coleman's rather long assessment of Peter Byrne, or rather long, you might say, biography. A lot of good pictures. It is rather lengthy. It's pretty long. I'm not going to even attempt to read the entire thing or even excerpts. You guys can read it for yourselves. I would highly recommend reading Peter's books. This one, The Hunt for Bigfoot. This one, the Monster Trilogy Guidebook. And also the Hunt for the Yeti, or the Search. I think it's The Hunt for the Yeti. Yes, which goes into his time in the Himalayas. The hunt for Bigfoot essentially covered his search for the Sasquatch here in America. Yeah, I thought it would end this with a sad but positive aspect, celebrating the life of the last of the four horsemen. Now, I did get a comment on my last video, my Peter Byrne tribute video, where an individual was not a big fan of Peter Byrne. And that's fine. You cannot be a fan of Peter Byrne. I'm not asking anybody to like him. I'm not asking anybody to say that they like Peter Byrne or hated him or whatever. Personally, I never had an issue with him. That's just personally speaking for myself. I can't speak for others. I've never attempted to speak for others or try and change their minds. Can't control what people think. But Peter Byrne was definitely an icon and a pioneer, in my opinion. Others' opinions may vary, and that's fine. We all agree to disagree sometimes. That's the best part of life. You can agree to disagree and still get along. Anyhow, it is a good read, and it's really, really good, and it's really excellent. I think Lauren has some genuine respect, or showed some genuine respect. Also, want to throw out condolences to the family of Scott Carpenter. He recently passed away as well. So, condolences to his family and friends. That's going to do it for this week. I want to thank you very much for tuning in. You guys are the heart of the show. I always say that, but I always mean it. And I will continue to do this for as long as you guys want me to. This is my 8th year of doing this for you guys, putting together videos. And I don't plan to stop anytime soon. I won't stop until I'm 6 feet under. So, until 2 weeks from now, y'all be good or be good at it. This has been HBM's Crypto Corner.